One question I get asked quite often on my channel is, "Hey Alex, what's it like when you drive a Tesla? Are there really no maintenance intervals?" There are many who criticize Tesla for this, saying, "Sure, it's nice not to have prescribed maintenance intervals. Still, everyone should perform maintenance on their own, otherwise the car might break down overnight because important things were ignored or small issues that could easily be serviced weren't, leading to major defects later on." For this reason, I want to explain exactly what Tesla actually says about it, which maintenance tasks you should do yourself according to Tesla, and share some tips from my side on what I personally do to keep my car in good shape. Let's get started after the intro. Hi and a warm welcome to Smart to Drive. Great to have you with us. I'm Alex and this video is once again all about Tesla. But I think for those who don't drive a Tesla, it might also be interesting to hear which path Tesla has taken here and what fundamentally sets Tesla apart from other car manufacturers. The main difference here is, of course, that Tesla, as you might have already heard, doesn't prescribe any fixed maintenance or service intervals. So, unlike almost every other manufacturer on the market, you don't have to go to customer service every 12 months or every 24 months and spend horrendous amounts of money. Instead, there are a few small things Tesla recommends you should do. But nothing is mandatory. It's also important to know that Tesla's warranty isn't negatively affected if you don't perform maintenance intervals, whether you do them at Tesla, at other workshops, not at all, or yourself. None of that affects the warranty, unless of course it's a case that occurred because you maliciously ignored something, as the car independently notifies you when something needs to be done. The car is, like no other on the market, so well connected with its own technology and vehicle parts that it always knows when something should be done. And the few things the car doesn't detect, you should then do yourself. I'm going to tell you right now what really needs to be done. I'll put a link to the Tesla website in the video description for you. There you can see exactly what Tesla itself writes about the whole topic of maintenance and service intervals. Among other things, it all starts here with the air filters. Tesla recommends changing the air filters approximately every 2 years. Of course, it depends heavily on how much you've already driven the car. I've driven about 25,000 kilometers in 2 years, changed my air filters last year, and I have to say they still looked pretty much like new. So it really depends a lot. Do you drive a lot through dirty road areas, and above all, how many kilometers do you drive? Just take a look at your air filters. If they're still very clean, tap them out a bit and put them back in. Then you don't even have to change them, although air filters really don't cost much. And if you've opened the car at that point anyway, then you might as well change them right away. I already made 2 videos about that last year. One on how to swap the air filters and the other on how to swap the HEPA filters, the pollen filters on the outside. You can also find the videos in the video description. I did it myself. You can either book it through the Tesla app. For your Tesla, it doesn't cost much, or you just do it yourself. Or you can go to an independent Tesla workshop, like Nick's Garage in Nuremberg, for example. There are quite a few or over who also offer this for Teslas here. At this point, Tesla recommends changing the cabin air filters every 3 years for all Model S and X, and every 2 years for Model 3 and Y. For the HEPA filter, Tesla doesn't distinguish between vehicle models and says it should be done every 3 years. Then we move on to the brake fluid. Basically, first of all, Tesla doesn't say that you should renew or change the brake fluid, but Tesla says you should at least have Tesla check it about every 4 years. What is the condition of the brake fluid? If the brake fluid is still very good, it's often enough to either just leave it as it is or top it up a little. But if it's no longer very good, then you should definitely have a brake fluid change done here too. But the specialist will tell you that. As I said, you should think about that in about 4 years. After 4 years, if you've already driven 200,000 kilometers in those 4 years, of course, I'd do it sooner. Basically, though, you can say as a rough guide, 4 years or a maximum of 48,000 kilometers. Within this period, you should definitely have had the brake fluid checked. And then you'll also find information on the website about the air conditioning service. However, this information has already been updated and actually only applies to Teslas without a heat pump. Since every new vehicle has had a heat pump for many years, there's nothing to do here. But if you still have a Tesla without a heat pump, then you should replace this so-called desiccant once. To check if you have a heat pump, go to Vehicle here, then to Software, and then to Additional Vehicle Information, and then you'll see Cabin Heating Heat Pump here. If you have that, then you don't need to do anything else for the air conditioning. If something should happen, the car will let you know itself. Otherwise, you don't have to carry out any specific checks at any fixed intervals. If it doesn't say heat pump here, then you should definitely check with Tesla after about 4 years. That's actually pretty much everything you'll find on the website regarding maintenance, service, and intervals. If you look in your Tesla app and go to Service, you can select all sorts of different things there, like brakes, air conditioning, and so on. and you can actually voluntarily arrange a service appointment for almost anything. But Tesla itself doesn't prescribe anything here, doesn't recommend anything special, and says if something's wrong, the car will let you know. But there are some things that you should definitely do and check yourself. Sure, number one, always check your windshield washer fluid. But your car will definitely let you know here too. I just had it yesterday. It's winter right now, you use it very often. Then the message came that the level is low. I just topped it up myself under the hood. Anyone can do that quite easily. You can also find how to do it in the owner's manual. And of course, you should also check your wiper blades, your windshield wiper blades. If you feel that they're no longer working properly, that they're scratching or streaking more than they're cleaning the windshield, you should replace them. I did that once last year. You can also find the video linked in the description. You can check there to see which wipers I recommended and how I changed them and what you should keep in mind here. But I often just wipe the rubber clean with a cloth, and sometimes I even use a piece of very fine sandpaper to carefully clean the contact surface that sits on the glass, and often the wipers are like new again, and you can easily drive with them for another year. So feel free to try that out before you buy new ones. Just a little personal tip that I use myself, but it's not an official recommendation. Of course, it's always better to completely replace the wipers. Now, on to the topic of brakes. Yes, Tesla says to have the brake fluid checked, but what you should always do is just take a visual look through the rims to see what condition the brakes are in. If you see quite a bit of rust on the brake disc, it means you're not using them often enough, because with one pedal driving and regenerative braking, the car slows down significantly on its own. The good thing is that your brake pads will last a really long time because of that. The bad thing is, if the brake disc gets really rusty and you then have to brake very hard, you can cause damage, and then it's no longer a smooth surface, which could impair the braking performance. So just do it often while driving, ideally when you're on the highway going downhill, simply by holding the lever up briefly to shift into neutral, basically declutching, so to speak. You don't have a clutch in an electric car, of course, but just shift into neutral mode. This allows the car to roll without regenerative braking, and then you can give the brakes a good cleaning by using them. I like to do it by braking very lightly for a while first, so the surface layer gets ground off, and once the brake discs get a bit warmer, I'll definitely do 3 or 4 hard braking maneuvers. So it's best to make sure there's no one behind you on the highway, then accelerate to 130 or 140 kilometers per hour and really slam on the brakes. And do that 2 or 3 times in a row, and then the brakes will be like new again, shiny, and that annoying squeaking will usually stop as well. Although with a Tesla, it doesn't take very long before it comes back again, so you really have to do that quite regularly. A common problem is, of course, the suspension as well. The control arms in particular wear out quite often on Teslas because they're simply subjected to very high loads during acceleration. If you're the type of person who likes to accelerate at full throttle from a standstill in sport mode very often, then it's quite possible that the small ball joints in the control arms will have a bit of play and be worn out. In this case, it's recommended to have the control arms checked after maybe 3 or 4 years, just to see what condition they're in. However, the TUV during the main inspection after 3 years and every 2 years after that also looks at your suspension and brakes, and if the TUV notices anything serious, they'll definitely speak up. Then you can use that TUV report to open a service case with Tesla if you're still under warranty. You have 80,000 kilometers and a 4-year warranty, if I'm not mistaken, on the suspension components, and for the battery, of course, 8 years and 160,000, which is much longer. But make sure that within those 4 years, you definitely take the opportunity to do an end of warranty check. Just check how are the control arms, how is your suspension doing, is anything really worn out, does something have a lot of play? Then you could have it done under warranty at Tesla before the warranty expires. What Tesla also recommends on the website is that you simply check the tire treads. Just take a look at your tires. Is the tread really worn down evenly on the inside and outside, or do you have big differences here? If the differences are greater than about 1 to 2 millimeters, Tesla specifies 1.5 millimeters here. If they are significantly larger, then it makes sense to definitely swap the wheels or change the direction of travel. But watch out here, especially with the performance model, you have wider wheels on the back than on the front. So the cross-section is wider, and because of that, you really don't have the option to move the rear wheels to the front, and you shouldn't swap them with each other either if there's a rotation direction, if there's an arrow indicating which way the tires should rotate. So in that case, definitely better to talk to a professional again. But take a look at it, because if the alignment might not be quite accurate anymore and the tire is somehow too far on the inner or outer track, usually it's the inner track, then the tread is worn more on the inside. Then you might have to, as I said, either see if you can swap them, change the direction, so a kind of tire rotation, or if you might need new tires sooner than you think if you only look at the tread from the outside. Therefore, if you're at Tesla anyway, or if you've bought a completely new set of wheels, then I would definitely have the alignment checked. It's best to just have the alignment readjusted. Many service providers do this, well known from YouTube, Reifenreber for example, but you can also do it at Tesla, Nick's Garage and so on. So that's up to you. It's also very easy via the Tesla app, so have the alignment checked. And if you're at Tesla or in the workshop anyway, after about 4, 5 or 6 years with new wheels and an alignment, then definitely have your coolant in the cooling system for the battery checked as well, because the coolant level shouldn't get too low here either. Then it should be topped up, because if your high voltage battery can no longer be cooled properly, then you obviously have a problem, and that could in turn perhaps jeopardize the battery warranty. Who knows? But Tesla says it doesn't have to be, and Tesla gives an 8-year warranty on the battery. If something should happen within this period because the cooling is no longer working properly, then Tesla shouldn't really hold that against you. I don't know if you've ever had a case like that or know someone who might have battery damage because of it, then feel free to write it in the comments. I would definitely be interested in that at this point. If you go to vehicle at the bottom left and then to service and then to maintenance, you can see what was done when. You see, I've now changed the HEPA filters and the cabin filters here. If you click here, you'll see it in green, for example, every 3 years. So you can check it right here. You don't even have to go to the website. Then you'll see that for me, the next time they're due, according to Tesla, is December 24th, 2027. Depending on how much you drive, you can sometimes just check the filters and then reset the whole thing here via record. Otherwise, you replace them and then reset it. So, cabin air filter and HEPA filter, those are the external pollen filters. Tire change here too. If you've changed the wheels, then definitely confirm it here again. Then you'll see that too. Replace wiper blades. You should definitely replace the blades there. I didn't reset it for mine a year ago. I just did it today. But I know that my wiper blades are still perfectly fine, and the car doesn't necessarily have to tell me that, but it's quite a nice gimmick if you're, made aware of it here again. And then there are 3 more points here as needed. Radiator cleaning. You can also do that via the app. So this is really about dirt deposits for the radiator, for the thermal system. This also includes, of course, checking the coolant if necessary, as I mentioned earlier. Precision cleaning of the windshield camera. You have your camera installed here behind the windshield, and if the windshield is dirty on the inside between this plastic cover and the glass, then you can actually have the whole thing cleaned here at Tesla, and then you could also reset the whole thing here as needed, just to show it's been done once, and also the wheel alignment as also mentioned. Those are the things that the Tesla shows you itself, and of course under service, you'll also find wheels and tires, and here you should always select whether you've changed the tires or the wheels, what size you currently have on, and then update it. Then that will also be updated here in this maintenance display under tire change. As you can see, Tesla takes a different approach, and Tesla relies heavily on personal responsibility. Tesla doesn't make its money from service intervals, but from sales and software, and especially later on with the software. And for that reason, it's a great thing. You can definitely save a lot of money here compared to other manufacturers, but you shouldn't neglect basic things like the brakes, because if something happens here and it becomes safety relevant, then you're not only endangering yourself but also other road users. But little things like the filters or the windshield wipers, you can do all of that yourself. It doesn't matter if you do it yourself, have it done elsewhere or at Tesla, it never jeopardizes the warranty whether you do it or not. It's up to you. Yeah, and I think that's a very, very good solution, and I wish all manufacturers would do it that way. What do you say to that? Do you think the system is good or bad? Write it in the comments. Did I forget anything, or do you have another interesting comment? Feel free to let us know as well. I'd definitely be happy about it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell if you like. Feel free to check the video description. I have further links for you there. If you want to buy a Tesla with a discount, for example, you're welcome to use my referral link, and you'll also find other accessory online shops for Tesla and other cars with discount codes. And thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care. I'm heading out. Bye-bye.